So are you ready for some tough economic times? Man, you hate to hear that question, don't you? It feels like we just went through some tough economic times. Last week I did a video and I mentioned that you should take your own advice. When it comes to improving your own credit scores, your own financial standing, take the advice you would give your borrowers, which is pay off your credit cards. Only buy things you can afford to pay off that month. Use your credit cards to improve your credit score. All those tips, you know what I'm talking about. Well, now I want to tell you about a book I read that I think you should consider reading. There are two economists I follow who I've mentioned before. Their names are Alan and Brian Beaulieu. They run a company called ITR Economics. You can look them up, itreconomics.com. I've seen them speak 4 times. They're very eloquent speakers and funny, great speakers. Very sharp guys, very high accuracy of their financial predictions. They came out with a book called Prosperity in the Age of Decline. And condensing it down, the point is we're in a flat spot right now through the end of 2014, early into 2015, maybe Q2. Then the economy is going to take off. It's going to do great for 2016, 17. Sometime in 2018, it all slows down to a recession again because of multiple economic cycles that are well known, and they all converge and end at the same time. The interesting or scary point of the book is that for the next 10 to 12 years after that, our economy will go through multiple business cycles and slow down until we ultimately have a global depression, worse than the Great Depression of the 1930s. Again, sounds like late night TV, gloom and doom. But here's the thing. Their point is if you understand economics, and part of it is demographics. It has to do with the age of people in the United States, Germany, Japan, Western Europe. The fact that in a lot of those countries they don't have enough birth rate and young people coming in to fill the ranks to pay taxes to cover the expenses of the elderly. And there's a sovereign debt problem with the United States not being able to pay our debt, and other countries. Japan is worse than we are. So there are factors that if you read the book, you'll see why it makes sense that we are in for these hard times ahead. But the point of the book isn't to freak out and fill an underground bunker with food and weapons. The point is to understand the economics and know what things you should do so that you can survive it. Most people survived the Great Depression. It sucked for a lot of people. The economic crisis that we just went through in the last 7, 8 years, most people survived that. It sucked for some people, right? So instead of putting our heads in the sand like an ostrich, we need to understand what these economic forces are. And again, I would say if you're going to be a financial advisor and sell people mortgages, help them and advise them, then you need to understand these factors. And if you understand them, then it's not a big panic about what will come, but it's simply making sure that your finances and your investments are set up so that you're in the best position for this somewhat ugly financial future, which will probably come. If you want to find the book, it's on Amazon. Again, Prosperity in the Age of Decline. Easy read, a little over 200 pages. They're very great speakers and writers, but it's also very easy to read. So take a look at it so that you can be a little more knowledgeable about some of these global and national influences that affect our economies. And I think it'll make you a better mortgage advisor, as well as preparing you for what you need to think about with your own finances going forward. And hey, if we can help you with your own finances now by helping you get more loans closed, let us know because we want to help. Speak to you soon.